of yellow and black lizards grunted as they turned the handle of a fishing reel nailed to a board at the top of the wall. The reel retracted a heavy braided line that inched up a tall panel from the depths. As soon as this gate cleared the waterline, boats swept from the lagoon into the open ocean. "He's got the float," warbled Mary, "and the skiffs are closing in." Mr. Popli slid down from the wall and collapsed, running a trembling paw across his forehead. For all his clever inventions, Archibald Shrew put his own life and the lives of others at risk on a regular basis. Something had to be done. "Big Eye!" a shout interrupted Mr. Popli's thoughts. The word sent shivers down his tail. Few things struck terror in the citizens' hearts like the monsters below. Unseen, ravenous, unable or unwilling to communicate, the fish made up an entire kingdom of variations on death. The big-eye tuna was a particularly vicious and opportunistic carnivore, and a bobbing shrew would make for an easy meal. With an acrobatic leap, Mr. Popli sprung back to the top of the wall. He could just make out a dorsal fin slicing the water's surface 30 wavelengths from Archie and closing quickly. The boats would never get there in time. "Arm the slings!" yelled Mr. Popli. "Beat balls at 2 o'clock. Distance of 60 waves. Then 65. Lure it away." He heard the creaking sounds of a ratchet, followed by a loud click. "Ready!" a voice cried. "Fire!" A projectile sailed overhead, breaking apart as it descended and showering the water with smaller particles. Bits of rotten food, sawdust, and snail slime made an oily slick of chum on and just below the surface. The big eye was nearer to the chum than to Archie, but the tuna did not alter course. "It's not turning around," Mary cheeped. "Distance of 20 waves," ordered Mr. Popli. "Fire when ready." Another bait ball shot past, raining down all around the great fish. And then the fin disappeared below the surface. Archie was too busy thinking about death to notice the big eye. "I wonder which happens first, freezing or drowning. Freezing makes you fall asleep. But if I fall asleep, I'll let go of the float and drown. So then would the drowning wake me up from the freezing? I suppose either one is better than being eaten." At that moment something slithered past Archie's tail. With a screech he vaulted out of the water as a ribbed fin exploded the surface right in front of him. The big eye submerged and then rocketed into the salty air, mouth agape with skewers of teeth each as long as the shrew's whiskers. Archie looked up, following the fish's arc with awe as it eclipsed the sun. A giant, gaping mouth flooded his field of vision. "Such amazing teeth," thought Archie. As he wondered what kinds of inventions he could create with teeth like those, a yellow blur crashed into him from the side. It was Mary. She'd knocked the wind from them both, but pushed the pair just beyond the big eye's jaws. The predator plunged into the sea alongside them and turned for another pass. Archie and Mary flailed on the water's surface. Only a wave away they could see the tuna fish's eyes burning, hollow and hungry. It raced toward them with frightening speed. "No!" a tiny voice rang out. A small harpoon zoomed through the air and collided with the big eye in mid-leap, piercing its right eye. The fish flopped once and then descended into the depths. Strong arms lifted the shrew and the bird into a plastic soda bottle cut in half, lengthwise. It was layered with styrofoam in the bottom, rigged with benches and oars, and painted with a crescent moon down the side. The animals on board the lifeboat all wore crescent moon symbols around their necks, on belts or on bracelets. Still too shell-shocked to recognize who had rescued him, Archie flopped over in the bottom of the vessel. As the waves pounded the side of the boat, his only thoughts were that Mary was alive and they both were safe. The boat ferried them back to the island, and the shivering shrew allowed himself a half-smile. "At least I haven't caused any real trouble." In fact, Archie's real troubles were just beginning. Chapter 2. A sheared-off stabilizer from the tail of an airplane bobbed just west of the lagoon, faded vinyl decals cracking and peeling in the midday sun. Crates and boards were stacked on top for shelter from the rain and heat. Sealed-off plastic bottles created pontoons to support